この背景素敵だな。Take this. So in today's video, we're going to go into manual catch and the settings I use to get the most consistent but enjoyable manual catch playing session 1.0. So to describe what I do, there's options, gameplay, flip tricks, settings. My catch mode is manual, board control mode is manual. My flip speed mode and scoop speed mode I have on auto. Why I do this is to get the most consistent flips I can, because I found with any other setting it's either too quick or it's too slow, and sometimes it's just right and it feels random even if I'm doing the same inputs. Just to go into other stuff, I sync flips and scoops. I could turn that off maybe, that's not really such a big deal. The input mode is on normal, scoop continuous mode, same with the flips. Pop height mode, global, it could be unique, it doesn't really matter. I kind of like being able to pop high. Late tricks on, shove it's on. And what this does is, while it does give you more or less the same speed every time, I feel very consistent. The minute I say consistent, that happens. Yeah, like for any tricks that I'm doing, I feel like I can develop muscle memory and I know it's going to work the same every time. When it's not on automatic, it may just be me, but I feel like I'm doing the same input, but sometimes it's way slower and it's not even doing a full flip, or it's a double flip, and I don't want to be doing double flips all the time. And if you're doing more or less the same input, it shouldn't be as big as a double flip or not even a single flip, right? So just to show what I mean, let's go put this on input speed and scoop speed also on input speed. Like I feel like I'm doing the same input, but I'm getting slightly different results. Or like I'm flicking up, but it's wanting to continue. I'm not really getting any slow heel flips. I had a problem with heel flips being really slow. And maybe just getting used to it, to be fair, but I don't always feel... That's kind of what I mean. For some reason it gets slower sometimes, and I feel like I'm doing the input at the same speed. And when you're in the middle of a line, you don't want to be... You can't react quick enough to get what you want. You kind of need some sort of consistency. So for me, it's just not really working out very well. Bit wonky, but you get the idea. Yeah, I just feel like I can relax. I'm not stressing over each flip. Like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to be exactly how I want it to be? Can I do something on this? Ooh. And it basically made the process of learning manual catch a lot better. If you're learning manual catch, I would keep it on automatic. You can turn it off after, and in my mind I would actually prefer to be on manual because I like to do everything manually, but I don't feel like it's consistent enough at the minute. I could just need to learn muscle memory or something. I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun like this, so I don't feel the need to change it right now. Another key thing is grind input mode. For me, no release is the thing that I prefer to use. Grind alignment, it can be lower, it doesn't matter too much. So just to describe why I like no release, it means you can use like the mini pop and the sticks, the left stick to the left, right stick to the right, to do those like little tail slides, crooked grinds. You can also just small pop and get into other grinds or hops as well. But I find that as a nice way, because my hop is fairly high. I don't really want to use that on low things. And with no release, you can do it instantly. Otherwise, you've got to release, then hold it again. And usually, if the ledge is small, you're either going to hit it or go over it, and it's just going to, timing-wise, be a bit weird. So I recommend no release for the time being. I think I'm going to stick with that just because I like it the most. Another maybe important thing is, I'll leave this open slightly for people. Actually, I'll maybe talk through, that's the best way to do it. These are my settings. If you like the way that I skate or you think it looks good, I would give them a go and then adjust from there. Gravity is the same. The push speed I always found to be too slow. Banking turn rate is just a personal thing. Low pop height, I put that as high as possible, so you can do your low pops into small ledges. Otherwise it's really, really low and you can't really do anything. High pop, because you're doing an automatic flip speed, you do need a bit of height to make sure you get a kickflip on a ledge or something. If this is, kind of test it on ledges and see what is the minimum. You don't want it to be too high, but you want it to be just enough that you can do flips into most ledges. That's what works best, I think. Here's some of the other stats. Grind friction I keep down. I don't want it to be too loose. Power slide friction is just good for sliding into lip tricks, things like that. Most of this stuff is flat. Sprint speed is just handy for doing missions and getting around the map. So to kind of show my point, I figured I'd just do a few lines, cruise around, and show kind of the amount of consistency you can get if you play this with my settings. I'm not saying you can't do it without this. If you could become a master at like all the manual flip speeds as well. I'd like to do that, but I'm not sure it's entirely working right now. It can be a bit glitchy and buggy, so if you want consistency, I would definitely recommend these. Like I'm talking and doing stuff. Ooh, just made it. Yeah, like I'm pretty consistent, right? I know the minute I say that I'm going to screw up, but there you go. But anyway, yeah, I'll just film some lines, cruising around doing stuff, just to show what I mean. Kind of gross. Oof. Wow, I didn't know planes flew in the sky. It's like a cool sunset. Ooh! Kind of made that one up on the spot. Yeah, maybe a bit too much. Oof. A little bit sketchy at the start, but not too bad. So yeah, you kind of get the idea, hopefully. Like, honestly, I put in a bit of effort to make sure the tricks look good, so it took a bit longer than expected, but just in terms of like cruising like this, I don't know, I feel really comfortable with this. I'm happy with the way it looks. I don't really need that extra fidelity of everything being manual. I'll keep trying. If I figure it out, then I'll maybe do another video talking about that in the future. You know, you bail sometimes. But hopefully it gets my point across. If you haven't tried manual catch, definitely give it a go. It is very satisfying. But start on auto, then maybe kind of adjust as you go along. Strip things off, and you'll get there in the end, I think. Same for me, same for everybody else that's playing the game at the minute. So, can we get a 360 flip into a grind? See? It's good evidence, if anything, right? We're getting some pretty cool stuff going at the minute. Mostly, anyway. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have your own ways of playing the game or any tips. Feel free to share them. Give this a go, let me know how it feels. And that's about it, I think. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.